Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Asian Psycho. In this video, we're going to be going over the review on the SR-25 Mark 11. This is the second of two NX Standard Sniper Rifle, or NX Standard variants of the SR-25 Sniper Rifle, which is not a very common occurrence. In fact, this is one of the few families of weapons in combat arms that actually have two different NX Standard weapons. Another one being, for example, the the Scorpion family, where there's technically three standard variants of that thing. In any case, you guys know what I mean. There's not a lot of double NX standard variants out there, and SR-25 being one of them. It's kind of surprising and it's kind of unique, so it's kind of cool. Anyways, let's get on with the review. So in game, the SR-25 Mark 11 is, like I said, an NX standard weapon. So for 1 day, it costs 900 NX, and because there is no more is there 1 day sales for NX guns anymore? I don't remember. I don't know. In any case, for 7 days, it's 3,400 NX, and for permanent, like always, for all other permanent sniper rifles, it costs 29,900 NX. Oh, and there's no rank requirement because it's NX standard. NX standard weapons usually don't come with rank requirements. I think so, right? So let's move on to the stats. The stats on the SR-25 Mark 11 go as follows. Damage is a 75, portability is a 46, rate of fire is a 40, and accuracy is a 98, and recoil is a 58. Now going over these stats, just comparing them to the original SR-25, the damage and the actually only the damage has stayed the same. Everything else has gotten a buff in some way, shape, or form. The portability has been increased by 3 points up to SR-25 Sandfire level at 46, so it's 3 points more portable, meaning you can run faster with it. The rate of fire has been increased by a colossal 15 points. This is almost double its rate of fire over the original SR-25, which is absolutely fucking crazy because SR-25 already fired very fast to begin with. The accuracy is at a 98, which means that it's 3 points more accurate than basically any other sniper rifle or SR-25 variant that we've seen thus far. And the recoil has been decreased by 2 points from 60, the SR-25's original 60, down to 58. What this means for you is that just going on statistics alone, the SR-25 Mark 11 is basically a hyper-buffed SR-25. Not only does it have almost double the rate of fire, but also it comes with a higher accuracy and a little bit less recoil. Not as much as the M110 style, style recoil, where it gets decreased by 5 points. I'll explain why later, but it does come with less recoil, so it says. So that's something to keep in mind. Basically, what this tells me is that you can basically spray faster with the SR-25 Mark 11. A 15-point increase in rate of fire is, Nexon doesn't do that. It doesn't do that. Oh, let's just throw in, a 15-point boost in rate of fire because we feel like it. No, they actually think about these guns, and they know. Well, they decide. They take a long time to decide which stats they want to buff and which stats they want to keep the same. And the fact that they keep the damage the same, but they increase the rate of fire, means that they knew that the SR-25 has some problems with follow-up shots. People might have been having trouble with landing that second or even maybe third shot if their enemies required it. So they decided to give it, instead of a damage boost, they decided to give it a rate of fire boost so that you are able to land that second or maybe third shot much more quickly than you would on a normal SR-25. Though that being said, I do honestly feel like the SR-25 Mark 11 is stronger than the SR-25. Not maybe as strong as the M110 SCSS, which has an 87 damage rating, but I do feel convinced that the SR-25 Mark 11 does have a damage rating of somewhere in between 75 and 82. I'd say it has a damage rating of 80, but that's just going off pure just how the gun feels and whenever I shoot it. So I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. I really do think that it's stronger than the original SR-25, but you don't have to believe me if you don't want to. As for the SR-25 Mark 11's non-stats, this is where things get a little bit interesting. So far, only the SR-25, or actually the SR-25 Sandfire and the M110 SCSS largely had the same animations for the most part. The draw animation was the same, the sprinting animation was the same. Well, they're all the same except for this one. And the reload animation was the same. The SR-25 Mark 11 is kind of like the, I don't want to say ugly duckling, but it's the odd one out. For some reason, Nexon gave the SR-25 Mark 11 completely unique draw animation. It's kind of like how they designed the Uzi family. If you guys remember when they started putting variants in for the Uzi family, first they came out with the Uzi. What was it called? The Uzi. Oh no, the Micro Uzi Metal, which was the NX Rare variant of the Uzi, and the Micro Uzi Metal had all the same animations as the original Uzi. However, when they started releasing like the Mini Uzi, the Micro Uzi, and the Uzi Metal, they all had their own individualistic like animations. And I mean, it's not a bad thing. Having guns having different animations kind of helped to give them a whole like a fresh new feel to the variants, even though, you know, they're only variants of the original gun. But for some reason they gave the SR-25 Mark 11 completely different animations. The draw animation is different. It's noticeable. I want to say the draw animation is actually a lot faster on the Mark 11 than it is on other variants, or it feels faster. It may not be that much faster, but it definitely feels faster. The reload animation is definitely faster. I know that for a fact. Maybe the Mark 11 Navy, which is the next variant after this one, can compare in terms of reload speed, but for sure, the Mark 11 has a faster rate of fire than all the other variants of SR-25 that we've reviewed thus far. It's faster than the SR-25, the normal one, the Samfire's, and the M110 SCSS's reload speed, for sure. I do know. I will say that for sure. How many times have I said that already? So, reload animation is not only different, but also faster. And let's see what else I need to talk about. The sprinting animation, like I said, is also slightly different. I prefer the normal sprinting animation, but again, that's just purely cosmetic. You don't have to care about it. And the ammunition count for the SR-25 Mark 11. Ooh, I actually click on a freaking ad. Is at 10 rounds per magazine and 30 round reserve, so it comes with that same big ammunition capacity that all other SR-25s do come with and enjoy. And the Mark 11 does follow after the original SR-25 tradition of having integrated suppressors. The so far, only the M110 SCSS has broken the SR-25 family tradition of having integrated suppressors, and the Mark 11 as well follows that same trait, and it does come with an integrated suppressor. It sounds, I want to say it does sound exactly the same. I think all or no, not Mark 17, but all SR-25 variants except for the M110 SCSS do have the same exact firing noise. So if you do hear the SR-25 silencer noise, you might want to watch out, because you may not be sure if they're using like only the normal GP standard in our SR-25, or maybe they had the SR-25 Mark 11 Navy, which in that case you're kind of in trouble. But again, just want to keep that in mind. So because it has an integrated suppressor and because it already comes with scope, like, you know, all sniper rifles do, the only thing you can change is the magazine modification, which honestly I don't think it really needs anything. If you put an extended mag 2 on this, it's kind of a waste, because it's already got 10 rounds per magazine anyway. And if you put a faster mag on this, it still reloads a lot. It still reloads relatively quickly anyway by itself. So adding a faster mag on top of that is, I don't know, it's a kind of a debatable move. You can still do it, and your reload speed will be even faster. It's just, it's probably not the most, I don't know, it's not, I feel like it's not the most efficient use of your bullets. Again, I'm just throwing that out there. Hey, what's going on, guys? Here, we're going to be doing the weapons testing for the SR-25 Mark 11. Sometimes I call it the Mark 2, so forgive me. I think it's called the Mark 11. Anyways, let's get started. You guys know the drill already. The hipfire accuracy and the short range and mid range. So here we go. That's what one mag of short range no scoping looks like. Now let's transition over to mid range. So there you go. You guys now have a clear idea of how the hipfire works. Let's move on. And now we're going to be doing the scope testing and the idle sway and the scope style. So here we go. So the ADS time seems very similar, if not the same as all other SR-25 variants. So there's no problem there. Let's just let it hang like that so we can observe its idle sway. Do note that the crosshairs or the scope styles has been the same throughout all the SR-25 variants. So as you guys can see, the idle sway is a bit big. It's definitely a lot bigger than the M24 variants, and yeah, it tends to drift around a lot. I get the feeling that the SR-25, the original GP standard variant, has the most amount of idle sway among all the SR-25 variants, but that could just be me. Maybe they all have the same idle sway. Who knows? But just keep in mind that just like all the other SR-25 variants that we've seen thus far, the Mark 11 does tend to drift around a lot, and yeah, you just need to watch out for it. Alright, now we're going to be doing the damage testing for the SR-25 Mark 11. Because the Mark 11 does have the same damage rating as the SR-25 Samfire and the original SR-25, I don't expect there to be much different. So this is just to reconfirm. I believe we've got Synoptic over here, who incidentally is the team leader for Amplitude. He's wearing Life Vest, so it's 19, so obviously it doesn't kill him one shot. Hold My Schlong has a Heavy Vest, so he only goes down to 43, as expected. And I Am Diego has Medium Vest, and he still survives. So we're going to have a comeback, and we will see how much damage the Mark 11 does to the back. Again, because it has the same damage rating, I don't expect them to be any different, or I don't expect the Mark 11 to have any different results from the other ones. Let's see. Okay. So, we're going to have Diego. I believe Diego's got the medium vest, so 12, he still survives that. Heavy vest, should make a difference. Light vest, surprisingly it does kill Synoptic in one shot. I'm pretty sure he was at full health. If he wasn't, then I don't know, man. It seems like the Mark 11 is able to one-shot people to the back, so I guess that's one inherent advantage that the Mark 11 does have over the SR-25 or the SR-25 Samfire, so I guess in that respect it is a bit different. In my honest opinion, the SR-25 Mark 11 doesn't really have any outstanding quirks that I feel need to be discussed. It does come back with the Mark 11 does restore the SR-25 variant tradition of having the integrated suppressors and all, like I mentioned before. But other than that, I just really feel like it's like the Mark 11 is just basically SR-25, but it does its job better. I don't really know. It's like the Mark 11 is just a straight upgrade from the SR-25 and the Samfire for that matter, and it's kind of different from the M110 ACSS because the M110 is really actually kind of different from the other SR-25 variants thus far, because most notably because of the fact that it does not come with an integrated suppressor, so that drastically kind of changes its role away from the generic SR-25 variant line, because you don't have a silencer, so thus you can't really play the same, or theoretically speaking you shouldn't be able to play the same as you would with an SR-25. So while the M110 does have its clear niche, the SR-25 Mark 11 is just, you can just throw it under the table with the SR-25 because, like I said, it's just a straight increase. There's really, other than the whole animation changes, there's really nothing that the SR-25 can't do that the Mark 11 can do. So if you kind of get what I mean. So yeah, there's really no. All in all, just really nothing too spectacular about it. There's nothing that's very outstanding about it, other than the fact that it does have cool animations. For Quickscoping Viability, again, the same as all the SR-25 variants. You can't really quickscope with this thing unless you go for headshots, in which case you might as well do that with M24 anyway. So yeah, just keep that in mind. It's a semi-auto, full auto, whatever. It's just how it's gonna be. Oh, I also forgot to mention the SR-25 Mark 11 does return with its fully automatic capability, just like all the other variants except for the M110 ASS. So just keep that in mind. And finally, as for my personal opinions, because I enjoy using SR-25, I also enjoy using Mark 11. At first, when I first bought it for permanent purchase, when they first released it, I didn't really like it too much, but that was when I really did not enjoy using semi-automatics, and I tried to stay away from it as much as possible. However, now that I kind of have to use semi-autos to review these guns, practicing, playing with them constantly has drastically increased my skill with them and my comfortability with them. So using Mark 11 again after like months and months of not neglecting it is actually kind of a cool experience, and I did well with it, just as well as I did with the original SR-25. Though to be completely honest with you, the Mark 11 has no purpose really. There's really no use for it. I mean, it's a semi-automatic sniper, first of all, so that already undercuts its popularity by a shit ton right off the get-go. The SR-25 GP standard variant is just as good as the it's just as good as the Mark 11, because the thing is about semi-automatic sniper rifles, or just sniper rifles in general, if you don't increase their damage, actually this pertains to all weapons, but sniper rifles in particular, if you don't increase their damage, then there's really no reason, or there's no big reason to use semi-automatic sniper rifles. The only reason why you want to use them, or the only other stat that can actually give you an incentive to use these kind of weapons, is maybe the accuracy and the recoil. The rate of fire, I mean, it's a semi-automatic. It's always going to fire faster than a bolt action, unless you've got a gun like a Walther P2, like a Watt 2K or something like that. And portability, I mean, who the fuck cares? It's a sniper rifle, portability doesn't really mean anything at the end of the day, because you're still going to run slower than most other people who don't have a sniper rifle. So yeah, it's either you alter the damage, or you have a combination of alterations in accuracy and recoil. More so towards the recoil department, because the recoil controls how fast your center speed is. And you guys probably know how much I've harped around about how important center speed is. So yeah, the Mark 11, it's a good gun. I'm not trying to bag on it for what it is, but as for its role in the Common Arms arsenal, it's just extremely limited. That's all I can say about it. There's really no point to it, because you already have GP weapons that do the same thing just as well, the SR-25 and the SR-25 Sandfire. So, I mean, yeah, that's really about it. Other than the fact that it has a 15-point increase in rate of fire, you could use it as like a purely spam weapon if you want to piss people off, but again, that's not an effective way to play the game. So, I don't know what to tell you. Mark 11's a good gun, but completely worthless in my eyes as far as utility goes. Like, if you want to play this game to be good and put up high scores, you have no business with Mark 11. So, anyways, that's going to do it for the review on the SR-25 Mark 11. This is, like I said, this was the second NX standard variant of the SR-25 family, which is, again, pretty unique for Nexon to do for a weapon, any weapon family in particular. So, thanks for watching, guys. This is the end of the review. My name is Asian Psycho, aka ToSniper98, and we will see you guys in the next video featuring the ultimate variant of the SR-25 family, the SR-25 Mark 11 Navy. So, see you guys till then.